Father Peter Obi show leadership like Edwin Clark did by resolving first the crisis in the Labour Party. For a man who wants to run Nigeria, you have one of the smallest parties in Nigeria, and you cannot even resolve the crisis in that Labour Party. Is it the crisis of Boko Haram that you will come and resolve in Nigeria? I would like us to be known for what we did when we had the opportunities. As I speak now, I can tell you about the dualized thoroughfares in my state. I can flyovers in my state. I can tell you about the best international hospital in my state. I can tell you about the monuments of government houses for the governor and deputy. I'm one of the best digitalized governor's office. I can tell you about the stadium in West Africa. I can tell you about the free and compulsory education that I did for all Nigerians. I can tell you about the unity I brought in religion by sponsoring over 5,800 Muslims, over 12 to 15,000 Christians to Rome. The demise of late patriarch and icon, his sweat on earth definitely were not in vain. From the North Central, the very powerful remembrance by Senator Lalong of what I said he did when he was a federal commissioner, and even the proposition he brought forward of the handshake across the Niger that united our people on today in the minds of the people clearly shows that the efforts that he made were and could never have been in vain. I'm saying this because I understand that just yesterday, one of the presidential aspirants, Peter Obi, His Excellency and former said that the labors of our leaders who have passed on were in vain. They were not in vain. The mere fact that Nigeria is still standing together shows clearly that their labors were not in vain. Very few countries that came up with the size of Nigeria are still together today. Many have been fragmented. But Edwin Clark lived through the days of USSR, and they went into they scattered into various countries, and up till now, war, trying to see whether they can come back together. Nigeria, despite our difficulties, God has kept us together because of the voices of people like Edwin Clark. So clearly, his labor and labors. And for those in the social media who like to tweet, Nigeria has an unregulated social media system. So they let them wallow in it and then take a situation and propagate all sorts of falsehood and all sorts of narratives. Some of them in the social media were not even born when Edwin Clark was very active in service. And so they couldn't have known some of the things he did that we are remembering today. And yet, when somebody makes a statement that the labors of past are in vain, I beg to disagree. Let Father Peter Obi show leadership like Edwin Clark did by resolving first the crisis in the Labour Party. For a man who wants to run Nigeria, you have one of the smallest parties in Nigeria, and you cannot even resolve the crisis in that Labour Party. Is it the crisis of Boko Haram that you will come and resolve in Nigeria? I would like us to be known for what we did when we had the opportunities. As I speak now, I can tell you about the dualized thoroughfares in my state. I can flyovers in my state. I can tell you about the best international hospital in my state. I can tell you about the monuments of government houses for the governor and deputy. I'm one of the best digitalized governor's office. I can tell you about the stadium in West Africa. I can tell you about the free and compulsory education that I did for all Nigerians. I can tell you about the unity I brought in religion by sponsoring over 5,800 Muslims, over 12 to 15,000 Christians to Rome and to Jerusalem. But then, those who are aspiring as presidential candidates to cause division with their mouths, using the social media, tell them to resolve the small crisis party they have in Nigeria before they come to talk about the larger Nigeria. But for the social media, it is unregulated. I wish you luck as you have a field day. I am saying this because this is what Pai doing if you were alive. So I've started. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Note, may we rise to observe 1 minute silence in honor of this icon.
Why did you slap him?
I slapped him because of his plan B. He thought that he could, since he couldn't get me to take that money, he thought that plan B, if it could come up on me, he didn't know that I'm a Port Harcourt girl. Port Harcourt girls are not moved by money, by somebody telling me that you make me a substantive MD. The Port Harcourt girls are
Can
not
we
moved
clarify this? Because this is, we can't gloss over a slap. What is the plan B? He came up on you. What exactly does that mean?
We were having a meeting. Akpabio's meeting with me is either in Apple or at Meridian or whatever. Those are his meetings. I slapped him.
Well, Joy, are you accusing Senator Akpabio of attempted rape? Is that the point you are making? Or sexual harassment?
Harassment sounds better, not rape.
Okay, so you are accusing him expressly of sexual harassment?
Yes, I am accusing him.
Nobody makes any payment in NDDC without God's will, Akpabio's approval. When we first came to NDDC, on the day of going for the inauguration, he told me in the car that, Madam MD, if you don't do what I say, the same pen with which I used to sign your letter, it will be the same pen that I will use to remove you. He said the first thing I should do when I get to Port Harcourt is to change the dollars in the NDDC account. I was scared to do that. After that, he came to Port Harcourt 2 days after the inauguration. He said the first thing I should do is to make sure I change the dollars. I should remove Mr. Kaltungo from being legal and send him on compulsory retirement, that we cannot have a northerner be the head of the legal team, of the legal unit. He said I should remove all the other directors that refused to take his instruction during the time of Mrs. Agwagaga. That was the predecessor before I came. So he came also with a draft, which I've submitted, with a draft letter that I should write and put it on my letterhead, implicating Senator Mobushi for collecting contracts in NDDC. I told him that I will not, I'm a lawyer, and that whoever alleges must prove. The fact that Senator Mobushi is giving us trouble as IMC, you remember also that they did not recognize the IMC. I said I will not do that letter. He said I was ungrateful and I refused to do the letter. Dr. Cairo now said that he will do the letter. If Akpabio tells him to kill, he will kill before he asks why did he kill. I said for me, I will not do the letter. At that place, there was Mr. Etiebet, who was the only staff of the NDDC that was present at that meeting. When he finished, he now asked Dr. Cairo to go and send for the letter-headed paper from the office. They now sent for the letter-headed paper. Dr. Cairo now did the letter, which I've also submitted to the committee, alleging that Senator Wabushi had contracts. Then he said, I must sign the cover letter. I said, if I sign any document from me seen by Mr. President, he will believe every line of it. So I will only write that the EDP, who should know about projects, has gone. The next thing that he told me, he said, I must make sure that all these people leave and that the procurement, because apparently Akpabio, before I came, when himself and Festus Keyamo were ministers, their first meeting at the commission, he was awarded 30 contracts for distilling and water hyacinth. Mr. Linus, who was the director finance, refused to sign because it did not follow due process. He also said that I should implicate the chairman of the House Committee, because the chairman of the House Committee had gone to Ondo State for a meeting to plan against him. Water hyacinth and distilling. They said that the budget for water hyacinth and distilling was, I think, for about 3 to 5 billion. I'm not sure exactly how much. But that the NDDC, before I came, had overstretched itself to about 50 billion for water hyacinth and distilling. And so the National Assembly had written us, they have it also, they had written us that we should not pay for anything like that. He said, and guess what? Akpabio never signs any documents. He will always refuse to sign, but he will tell you to go and commit the fraud. For instance, he told me to go and raise a memo and give an emergency contract for flood victims. He wanted me to take an oath. He has denied that, but I want to say today, he told me up to 3 times until we had a reconciliation meeting at the villa in the house of Mr. Sadiki Abba, who is the SA to the president on domestics. In that meeting was Alhaji Mekano. He said the only condition was if I take the oath. I refused to take the oath, and I did not take that oath. And I will never take the oath from him. So he said he was going to remove me. He started a campaign of calumny against me. He said I did not answer him because the facts will speak for itself. Now, to end this matter about the procurement process, I refused to go with him to deceive Mr. President at the FEC meeting, because the Procurement Act says if I contravene any section of the Procurement Act, is 5 years imprisonment without an option of fine. So if I go and say they should pay for the process, if you see, they say it's for 2020 budget. Akpabio went to get the approval from FEC. The 2020 budget has not even been discussed by the National Assembly till today. The 2020 budget has not been passed. However, he lied to FEC, which is the greatest embarrassment in this country, for a budget that has not been passed, for an approval to be given for that procurement. I refused to go because he wanted me to send the money for the procurement to the ministry to implement the forensic audit. I refused. I am challenging him to deny any of these allegations, because I have to round up for you people. But all the facts and all that I've said are all written in my document.
I am being victimized. My suspension is a means of silencing me. It was episode after episode, moments after moment. We were at his country home. He was taking me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, held my hand. He then squeezed my hands in a very suggestive way. We're women, we know what it means when a man squeezes our hands in a suggestive way. And he went, now that you're in the Senate, I will make an opportunity for us to come here and have a good moment, along that line.
Did the Senate president ever make any sort of advances towards you in the chamber or in the Senate?
There was a time I rushed to work, forgetting to wear my ring. And there were about 5 senators there, and he was, "Oh, Natasha, you're not wearing your ring. Is this an invitation to treat?" Statements like this.
Are we your slaves? The way you elected was the way you were elected. Are we your slaves? How else you can suspend me here? Are we your slaves? Every time you keep on picking leadership for us. We are not your slaves. Whether you like it or not, the way you elected was the way we elected. We are not your slaves. The way you elected was the way we elected. How else you can suspend me? You have done your worst, Mr. President. What do you mean by that? You have done your worst. You have done your worst. You have put us to the wall. Thank you. Yes, we'll start with that. Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning what? It's unfair. It's unfair. It's not about me, it's not about any person. It's about the institution of Senate. Thank you, sir.
Vote is required. It is 2/3 of the Senate, of the senators seated. But have we taken consideration of how many senators are seated and how many people have agreed that we say we are 2/3? And apart from that, sir, this point is very necessary because since we started this Senate, you said it's a corrective Senate. We have been ambushed all the time that bills are very sensitive bills are brought and are expected to be passed with the speed of light, which is not good for this country. Every senator here is supposed to be adequately informed. He does his research, he comes to the floor and makes a positive contribution. But in a situation where even money bills are brought and we are expected to pass it within 2 hours, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't go well for this country. Sir, you are on seat today. History is going to judge you that things like this are not good for this country.
So, Senator Godswill Akpabio has made himself now APC PA or PR or whatever. Maybe a special advisor to the President Tinubu on media and publicity, because I can't understand how a senator, not just a senator, Senate President, will be using the hallowed chamber, his hallowed office, to be speaking about matters he's not even supposed to speak about. Yes, Peter Obi made a statement that the labor of our heroes past is now in vain. And Senator Godswill Akpabio did not even allow that statement to stay up to 2 days or 3 before he responded to it immediately. We see how Fulani herdsmen are disturbing residents in Benue State, in Jos Plateau, in Edo State. This man is here to use this same office to talk about that. But if it is P2B or anybody that says anything about APC government or Tinubu government, Akpabio will use the first Senate president ever to do that. What a shame. Senate President Godswill Akpabio will use his hallowed office and seat to speak about these matters. Now, we see his case with Ms. Natasha Akpoti. Allegedly, I heard that somebody is saying that he's trying to obtain a court order to force Natasha Akpoti to delete the satirical response that she gave, or satirical apology she gave to Senator Godswill Akpabio. And now there's a court order now preventing Senator Natasha Akpoti and Senator Godswill Akpabio to speak regarding whatsoever issue they have, harassment or whatever thing they might call it. which made them to suspend Senator Natasha Wood. So this is even what Senator Godswill Akpabio should even be talking about. And then tomorrow he's speaking about what some other person said about it, that social media is not regulated. Why will it be regulated? It can never be regulated. And even if they have their way, they will regulate social media. I saw Senator Ned Nwoko saying that all content creators should have an office in Abuja, should have a head office. The day he was reading out his motion or his bill, I'm like, is this man okay? How did he come about this bill? I wonder how Nigerians vote people into office, or these people force themselves into office. How can you be sponsoring such a bill, such a hilarious bill? I don't think he passed second reading that day. It was even dumped. So there is it. If any other politician can criticize Tinubu government, nobody will say anything. Godswill Akpabio will not say anything. But he has been on and off against Peter Obi. We saw how he used the burial day of this former Access Bank CEO. He used it to play politics. How he was directly attacking Governor Sim Fubara. When Governor Sim Fubara made that, this war will come and go. He said, in fact, he made a statement which I wouldn't want to be referring here now. The pastor came up, the gallant pastor said that you will continue to run until you run out. The pastor made that statement. So this man has just been making statements that people will begin to wonder, is he a Senate president or just a clerk in the Senate? So it's a shame that he will even be everybody is talking about Peter Obi. Bayo Nanoga, media aide of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is talking about Peter Obi. Governors from the southwest, everywhere, even Soludo is even talking against Peter Obi. Soludo, that is the brother of this man, is even speaking about. It means that this man has some great importance to this country, and that's why everybody's afraid. Social media is present. Social media is social media. We saw how he finished third. Party without structure finished third with massive votes. Not even thousands, millions of votes. I think he got either 5 million or 6 million votes, if I'm not mistaken. Someone they say he doesn't have structure, he will not win. And just his presence alone made people that would not even win party tickets use Labour Party platform, and they won. Senators, House of Reps members, and even a governor, Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, he won at the back of Peter Obi, because Alex Oti has contested many times to become the governor of Abia State, and he failed with Apga and many others. But with Labour Party, he won. So Peter Obi deserves some respect. And even to me, if I'm to suggest, I would suggest that Peter Obi should even be more vocal, should criticize this government with raw words to put them on their toes. That's what politics is all about. So Peter Obi cannot be praising them, appreciating them or whatever. He can't be their praise singer. He can't sing their praises. And even there is nothing this government has. There's nothing APC government has done.